Can you explain sleep and join methods in thread? The sleep method in Java is a static method which is defined in a thread class. This is used to pass the execution of a current thread for a specific period of time. The sleep method accepts an argument which is a time in the milliseconds, which is a long parameter. And the join method allows one thread to wait for another thread to finish before it proceeds the execution. This join method is very useful for the thread coordination and synchronization. By using join method, we ensure that the thread doesn't continue executing before it proceeds for the execution. So let's see an example of these two methods. We have a thread 1 and thread 2, and we have defined a sleep method inside of the thread. It's not, because it's a static method, so that means that this thread 1 will wait for 2000 milliseconds before further execution, and this will throws an exception, interrupt exception. This will be interrupted if you are interrupted this thread in outside of this method, then this exception will be catched. And the similar way, thread 2 also waits for 1000 milliseconds, right? So there is another method which is join. So join means, so for an example here in the main, this is the main thread. So if we call a join against a thread 1 method, so the main thread will wait till the thread 1 will complete. The same way for the thread 2. For an example, if we call this one, so first of all the thread 1 will finish and thread 2 according to the thread 1 and thread 2, but both threads will finish and then proceed further execution. Let's run this program. Yeah, so both threads are starting. So thread 2 is finished, thread 1 is finished. Upon finishing both the threads, the main thread is finished. The same way. So when do we get the interrupted exception? For an example, after starting of your threads, right, we will interrupt thread 1 dot interrupt. So let's say that you interrupted a thread. So thread 0 got interrupted. Since we caught the exception, it just got interrupted and it did not finish. The thread 1 did not finish because of this interruption, right? And did not wait for the specific period time whatever we mentioned here. When we in the waiting period, the thread is got interrupted and then it's finished, right? These are the important methods in